Hey guys, welcome back to the channel. In this video today, I'm going to show you how to create this procedural cracked glass material in Blender. Before we get started, consider leaving this video a like and subscribing. It really helps me keep the videos moving along. Alright, before we begin, make sure that you're in the Cycles render engine, that your device is set to GPU compute, and that your max samples is around 50 along with the denoise being enabled. So I'm going to start by adding a UV sphere. And I want to make sure that's shaded smooth. Now, with that selected, I'm going to jump right into the shading panel. I'm going to click New to bring up our node system. And I want to adjust the transmission here and bring the weight all the way up to 1. I then want to go to the roughness and adjust that and make that to 0.1. Now, I want to make the cracks in the glass done with a Voronoi texture. So I'm going to add a Voronoi texture and then a color ramp. And we're just going to connect the distance to the factor and the color to the color. And first thing we want to do is make sure that the feature input right here, feature output is changed to distance to edge. And then we're going to bring this white slider way over to make those cracks just a little bit more thin. In fact, I'm going to bring that way further in so it's just, they're like hair thin. Then I want to change the scale to about a 2.7 and then increase the detail all the way to the max at 15. You can leave the other settings as they are. And then I'm just going to take these two nodes way out here. I'm going to duplicate both of them and just bring them right here. And I want to basically have two Voronoi layers working together, so I'm going to join them with a mix color node right here. And I'm going to connect this color to color B. Now, I want them to be just a little bit different, so I'm going to drag this white slider out just a little bit, and I want to increase this scale to about 15. And you can sort of see that we have like the big cracks and then the smaller cracks happening at the same time. This is good. So I'm going to just pull all of these nodes a little bit further out here, and we're going to use bump nodes to make these cracks just a lot more noticeable. So I'm going to start obviously by going into the search and typing bump to add a bump node. And I'm going to take the color data from the first color ramp and I'm going to plug it into the height and then connect the normal from the bump to the normal in the principal BSDF. Now, what we can do here, we can bring this distance up to make these cracks considerably more noticeable. I'm going to leave them at about a point, I think for right now I'm just going to do 0.2. I like that. Now I want to create a second bump node. I'm going to just plug it in right here, duplicate it, and just plug it in right there, and it automatically connects the normals. And I'm going to take this color data from the second color ramp, and I'm going to plug it into the height. And you can see a lot of stuff is happening. So let's change into rendered view mode so we can see what it looks like. And it's definitely looking like very cracked glass. I'm going to change the strength to 0.9 on both of these, just to make it a little bit more subtle. And you can definitely mess around with the distance to, just give it a look of your own. I'm going to decrease the distance just on that one to 0. And you can see, you can just get like really pronounced cracks, or you can increase this one here to give it much more. You can also just make that 0.003 to make them a lot more subtle, just a lot more, just depends on the detail that you're going for. So yeah, let's see what this looks like with a different mesh. So with that selected in our scene, let's just hit 0 on the keypad and we will just move that. And now we will add a cylinder, adjust the height a little bit. I'm going to tab into edit mode and I want to delete this face. Just like that. I'm going to shade smooth and I'm going to add a solidify modifier. Just going to move that up to about 0.4 and apply it right there. And then we can just go under the material properties panel and just select material 1 and just see how it looks. And it's a little dark, so I'm going to duplicate the native light and move it on the Z-axis just a little bit so we can see it a little bit better. And that's it. Yeah, you're done. I think that looks quite a bit like cracked glass to me. So yeah, if you enjoyed this video or learned anything, feel free to leave a comment below, give this video a like and subscribing, and yeah, let me know what you think. Create something awesome out there, guys. Have a good weekend. Take it easy out there.